feed, everybody. Arena Sportsnet now has a YouTube page where we're streaming live events from. Doing the same for Snowman in the morning. Hope to have that in a week. Did y'all enjoy your Thanksgiving? I certainly did. I hung out with some friends that put an incredible Thanksgiving meal together. You know what? I'm going to have several questions of the day. What's the weirdest dish you've ever had for an occasion like Thanksgiving? I've never had a corn souffle before, but I ate the hell out of it. Oh, man. It's good to be back with you guys. It's good to be back, period. It is good to be back. I'm going to be for those of you watching on the Facebook live feed, I'm going to be a little bit off, but I got to see all my my icons here on my computer. We got stuff to do. We got a lot of stuff to do. So let me get situated here. We got a lot of stuff to do. We got our first giveaway. That'll come during the second hour of the show. Mike Green will join me during the second hour of the show to talk some hockey. And I got some things to say about a couple of quarterbacks in the NFL. And I got some more things to say about the college football playoff. But speaking of things to say, but first, Snowman in the Morning is brought to you in part by Cleaver Supplements, where their team is excited to provide you with an impeccable online shopping experience and remains available to assist at any time. Cleaver Supplements, pure supplements for when genetics is just not enough. Visit them online at Cleaver, K-L-I-E-W-E-R, supplements.com. The first hour of Snowman in the Morning brought to you in part by Countryside Realty. Countryside's team of realtors are ready to handle your real estate transaction with honesty, professionalism, and over 17 years of industry knowledge. Don't go unrepresented in one of the largest investments of your life. Call the DeMont, Indiana office at 219-987-7355. That's 219-987-SELL. Serving all of Northwest Indiana, which is where our studio is located. Countryside Realty, where professionalism matters. And also, we're presented by Butcher Box, dedicated to bringing you 100% grass-fed beef, organic chicken, and heritage-bred pork delivered on your schedule for less than $6.50 per meal. They offer a 2 to 5 day delivery, and the meat is flash frozen at the peak of freshness, packed with dry ice, and shipped directly to your door each month. And people are bugging me already. I love it. I love it. Okay, we got that situated. But I don't know where to start this morning. I know where to start. Hey, Coach Markey, how you doing, buddy? Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Jason Owens, JJ Neely, y'all too. I know where I'm going to start this morning. Excuse me. Sorry. Nose was running. I had to catch it. I put a post up on Facebook and my social media yesterday that got a lot of people talking. And that post was about one Russell Wilson. Now, I said I'm going to say some things that are going to piss people off. Keep in mind, this is only one man's opinion, okay? There's only one man's opinion. This is why I love doing sports. This is why I love talking sports with people. We can agree to disagree and have fun at the same time. This is the post that I put up. This is the sentence that I stated. Simply put, Russell Wilson is overrated. Period. Russell Wilson, I'm not going to say he's as overrated as Jay Cutler. That's a whole nother monster in and of itself, and I'll get to that in a few minutes. But looking at the game yesterday, Russell Wilson seemed more pedestrian than ever. I mean, he had a big game at New England, and thank God for that. But it just seems like lately, he's been playing down to his competition. Now, he became the first quarterback in Seattle Seahawks history with a 4,000-yard season. and folks want to make the argument that he's a Pro Bowler, and I'll give him that, and that they'll take him over any other quarterback any day. But I think he's overrated. Did you see the Seattle Seahawks offense yesterday? It was lethargic. They only managed 3 points on offense. 3. And this is supposedly an offense that is so dangerous that you don't know who to contain. That's a lie and a half. If their offense is so dangerous, why couldn't they figure out a way? Why couldn't Russell Wilson figure out a way to lead the Seahawks to a winning drive at Arizona in a game that ended in a tie? If Russell Wilson is such a great quarterback, I think he's nothing more than a game manager. A good one, but a game manager nonetheless. To my recollection and to my memory, Russell Wilson has had only one game-winning drive, and I want y'all to prove me wrong on this. Please prove me wrong. This is not me being sarcastic. This is me making a request to the fans that are listening and don't like the statement that I made. If I'm proven wrong, I'll gladly say I'm proven wrong. I've done it before. But I have only seen one time, where Russell Wilson led his offense to a victory in a big game, and that came against the Green Bay Packers in the NFC Championship game. Period. And on top of that, I'll make this statement. Russell Wilson has been accompanied to his supposed greatness by a supposedly great defense, which has been exposed this year. Legion of Boom? Yeah, right. Legion of Bust. And yet Seattle, by default, is going to win the NFC West. Even with a tie. Hell, the 49ers did it one year. They went 11-4-1, and they got all the way to the Super Bowl. I mean, this is the same. Do I need to go there? Yes, I need to go there. This is the same Seattle Seahawks team that won the NFC West. I want to say the year was 2009 when this happened, at 7-9. Now, this is pre-Russell Wilson. I know that. He's thrown for at least 3,000 yards every year he's been in the league. I know that. Touchdowns to interception ratio, ridiculous. But here's another reason why I believe Russell Wilson is way overrated. And I mean it when I say that. And I know my social media Mistress Christie is going to get mad at me because she does our weekly wrap-ups and our weekly preview. Look at the last 2 years that Russell Wilson has been in the playoffs. I'm going to pull it up here in a moment. He hasn't been that good. He really has not been that good. I mean, the best game that I've seen from Russell Wilson this season was a 348-yard performance at New England. At New England. Okay? He threw for 2 1/4 against Arizona in that god-awful tie. He's thrown only 11 touchdowns this year. I mean, granted, he's only thrown 4 interceptions. But still, I expected a lot more from the Seattle offense, even minus Marshawn Lynch. I expected a lot more from Russell Wilson. Hey, Russell Wilson, if you're this great quarterback that makes more plays with your feet than your arm, and so far you haven't proven a doggone thing. Not to me. Not to me. And I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this, and I don't care. I really don't care. Russell Wilson is overrated. He's overrated, folks. He's leading, what is the word I'm looking for? An offense that on quite a few occasions this year, even though they've still won some of those games, has been very, very paltry. To use a better word, has been very, very putrid. Really? And y'all are going to give him this kind of credit? Mm-mm. Nope, I'm not. I had a friend made a comment to my post yesterday saying that you're a tough audience. You're damn right. Because I know what an all-pro quarterback and a great quarterback is. I've seen a few of them. And Russell Wilson ain't one of them, period. He's got a Super Bowl ring, but you know who got him that ring? The strength, their defense got him that ring. End of story. And again, the only time, here are the numbers I'm looking for. The only time that, doggone it, that I have seen Russell Wilson lead his team to a victory was a playoff game, the NFC Championship against Green Bay. And Green Bay choked that game away. Led 16-0. Led so many points on the field, it's not even funny. We shouldn't even be talking about Seattle winning that NFC Championship game. Hey, Steve McClure, what's up? Good Monday morning to you too, partner. Steve McClure of IndianaSRN.org. All my friends down in Neptown, giving it an early morning listen. But let me tell you something. Let me give you the yards and let me give you the numbers in the playoffs. All told in his career in the playoffs, he's thrown 16 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. 9. Okay? 8 of those 9 have come in the last 2 playoff seasons. 5 in 2014 and 3 in 2015. I think Steve misunderstood me. I said Naptown, referring to Indianapolis. I appreciate you guys listening to me. Let me give you these numbers again. He's thrown a total of 16 touchdowns in the postseason and 9 interceptions. 8 of those 9 have come in the past 2 playoff runs. 2014 and 2015. That is one of the biggest reasons I believe Russell Wilson is overrated. He's completed 60.5% of his passes in the playoffs as opposed to 64, nearly 65% of his passes in the regular season. Now, in the regular season, I'll say it again. I'll give him this. He's thrown for 3,000 yards plus every year. Okay? Also, every year, his interception total has gone down in the regular season. He's thrown at least 20 touchdown passes every year. This year, I don't think he'll get to 20. 31-18, 33-57, 34-75, and 4,024. The first Seattle quarterback in team history to throw for 4,000 yards. Okay? I'll give you the regular season stats. Okay? But looking at yesterday, looking at this season, but why are you all giving Russell Wilson this much credit, this much props, when he doesn't deserve it, in my opinion, and he hasn't earned it? Tom Brady has done more as a 7th round pick. And y'all know how I feel about Tom Brady. But 200 wins is 200 wins. 200 wins is 200 wins, period. Wilson's got a long way to go to get to Tom Brady's status, even though he outdueled Tom Brady in a game where Wilson threw for 348 yards. Yeah, he threw for 348 yards. But what's he done after that? What has he done after that? He was 17 of 33 yesterday for, let me read this right, 151 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. I'll say it again, and Mr. McClure, you're spot on right. Tom Brady has done more as a 7th round pick than Russell Wilson has done as a high pick. Okay, let me give you the one game. I'll give you another game where Russell Wilson should have been Russell Wilson. And that game was Super Bowl 49. Y'all know what happened. A yard away from victory. And you don't trust Russell Wilson. I blame that on you. I blame that Super Bowl loss on you. Why, you ask? You don't trust the best back in the game in Marshawn Lynch to give him the ball. You don't trust Marshawn Lynch enough to give him the football a yard away with time running out and Tom Brady doesn't get another possession? Really? The only pass that I'll give Tom Brady is that he keeps winning. That's the only pass I'll give him. Okay? I synced it up close and personal. Even the times he outdueled Peyton Manning, the many times he's outdueled Peyton Manning, except the 2006 AFC Championship in the old Hoosier Dome. I know it was called RCA Dome, but I'm old school. It's the Hoosier Dome. This offensive line of Seattle is porous. It is horrible. Compared to the Dallas Cowboys, they have the best offensive line in the NFL. And I still don't think the Cowboys will go far in the playoffs. Sorry. He's got a career quarterback rating right now, and this being his 5th year in the league, of 100.4. What I must teach y'all about quarterbacks and quarterback ratings. Yeah, how many times was he sacked, Stevie? Hey, Stevie, look up yesterday's stats for me. Tell me how many times he was sacked. Let me go back a page. I'm looking at some stats here on my screen. I gotta get some more screens in here. And I got something where y'all can help the show. I'll talk about that a little later. Okay. Everybody wants to talk about QBR. He's got 3 seasons. Oh, I only saw 1. And last year he led the league in quarterback rating at 110.1. But did he get the job done in the playoffs? No. Did he lead Seattle back to the Super Bowl? No. Did he even give his team a chance to compete against Carolina? No. So therefore, he's overrated. Meanwhile, one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time, the one and only Steve Young. And I said one of my favorites. You want to compare yourself against the best Russell Wilson? Well, Wilson's in his 5th year. Okay, I know that he's got a lot more years in front of him. But if he doesn't get up off the ground after getting hit and getting sacked as many times as he has this year, he won't do much. He won't do much. Sorry. Meanwhile, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, 9 times. I beg your pardon. 9 times Steve Young has had a QBR of over 100. 9. You understand? I know Russell Wilson's in his 5th year. But 9 times, I feel like Ferris Bueller, 9 times has Steve Young had a QBR over 100. And why am I using Steve Young as a comparison? Because he's kind of got the same build, only different. Steve Young's left-handed, Russell Wilson's right-handed. That's it. That's it, and that's all. So for y'all to think, to even have the unmitigated gall and audacity to think 6 times he was sacked yesterday. Thank you, Stevie. To think that Russell Wilson, hey, Steve Young's been sacked too, okay? Again, why am I comparing Russell Wilson to Steve Young? Is because they got the same kind of build. Only difference is Russell Wilson is right-handed and Steve Young is left-handed. But in the right system, Steve Young has done more than Russell Wilson will do blindfolded, period. Now, I mean, Steve Young only has, you know what? I take that back. Steve Young's got 3 rings. But in Steve Young's own words, the only one he feels he's earned was 1994. And that's when talk about him not getting the job done in the big game began to surface, and he proved him wrong. And for that year, he cemented himself in the Hall of Fame, period. I mean, Steve Young was doing stuff Russell Wilson can't even dream of, okay? I'll give you a play in the NFC Championship game in 2013 against the 49ers that kind of showed me that Russell Wilson's not all that. Hey, Steve, you listening? Opening play of the game, NFC Championship 2013 in Seattle. Russell Wilson runs a play fake, and Aldon Smith chased him down, stripped the ball from him. I mean, Russell Wilson doesn't have that many ball security issues as, Jay Cutler. And I got him, and I'm getting on him after the break. Him and the Bears. And my 49ers too. They're having a bad season, but there's a big difference. I'll get to all that after the break. But don't tell me Russell Wilson is this great quarterback when he's not. Period. Numbers prove that. Yesterday's game proved that. The Arizona game proved that. Hey, I'll say it again. If Russell Wilson is such a great quarterback, why couldn't he figure out how to get the Seahawks downfield in Arizona to prevent a tie? Why couldn't he get the Seahawks downfield against Tampa Bay yesterday? And Tampa Bay doesn't have that great of a defense. Although it was good enough yesterday. The Seahawks offense is so scary. Yeah, right. What's up, brother Shane? Sports director of our ASN Mountain West division. But I don't want to hear, until I see Russell Wilson actually do what Russell Wilson can do on a consistent basis, I don't want to hear anything more about how great of a quarterback Russell Wilson is. Period. I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it, because as far as I'm concerned, he's overrated. He is that the way that they describe Russell Wilson as the next best thing, I think that would be Tom Brady right now. And y'all know I don't like Tom Brady, but fact is fact. And later on this week, I got a few things to say about Mr. Tom Brady too. But again, to complete my point, Russell Wilson is overrated, period. And I hope the numbers that I threw out here this morning prove that and continue to prove that. If they don't, then just watch his play on the field. Unless Seattle solves that issue they have with the offensive line and protect Russell Wilson, then Russell Wilson is going to have a shorter career than everybody anticipated. Period. And until I see him do something great, I don't want to hear anything more about Russell Wilson being a great quarterback, because he's not a great quarterback. He's a game manager at best. Andrew Luck's back to practice this week to prepare for the Jets. Oh boy. Andrew Luck's taking more of a beating as Russell Wilson. But I'll have more faith in Andrew Luck than I have in Russell Wilson. I'll tell you that much. I'll have more faith in Andrew Luck than I have in Russell Wilson. Period. Let me pause for a break. When we come back, I'm not done talking quarterbacks yet, because Jay Cutler is on my hit list. And after what I heard yesterday, Snowman in the Morning back in the deuce. Y'all are gonna love this. Back in a flash. Today's program is brought to you by Cleaver Supplements, the official presenting sponsor of Arena Sports Net. Our team is excited to provide you with an impeccable online shopping experience and remains available to assist at any time. We have natural supplements such as our Super Fat Burner, our Carnitine Stack, the famous Swole Serum for your workouts, and much more. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, do not hesitate to contact us via telephone or email, and one of our experienced team members will get back to you. Cleaver Supplements, pure supplements for when genetics are just not enough.
Attention fans of Fireside Sports Radio. We are now the Asylum Fantasy Sports Show. Join Flieger and Briggs each week as we bring you the best in fantasy, sports talk, and anything else that comes to our mind. Join us every Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern, exclusively here on the Arena Sports Network.
Let me tell you about American Grappler Wrestling and MMA Outfitters. American Grappler makes shirts that honor the American wrestling and combat sports tradition unlike any other brand on the market today. And I'm going to tell you a little personal story. American Grappler just did a tribute shirt to my coach, my mentor, one of my best friends, the legendary Billy Wicks, who just passed on. And all of the profits of this shirt are going to Billy Wicks' family. That's what kind of a brand this is. They are not just an advertiser on the team sport. They are not just an advertiser on the Arena Sports Network. They have become family. And let me tell you something else about American Grappler. Their shirts are of the finest quality. I've been training in these shirts and wearing them proudly for years. Support American wrestling heritage. Go to AmericanGrappler.us today. You'll be happy you did.
Russ's Print Shop in Hebron, Indiana has been doing printing since 1979. You can take advantage of this website special of getting 500 full-color business cards on a quality business cardstock for just $49, an online special only. But you can use other means to get the name of your business out there through Russ's Print Shop and the Hebron Advertiser, located at 131 North Main Street in Hebron, Indiana. Give them a call today at 219-996-3142 or toll free at 877-996-3142. Russ's Print Shop, fine printing and design since 1979.
Now what's that? I say, now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
I'm back. Sorry, voice crack. I'm having a ball doing this, and I want to thank you all for joining me. Snowman in the Morning, this portion brought to you in part by Dairy Queen of Hebron. Their blizzard of the month is you ready for this? Hey! Doggone screen. The blizzard of the month is the Candy Cane Oreo Blizzard Treat, a mix of candy cane and Oreo cookie pieces blended in the world famous vanilla soft serve. And yes, it does turn red when you see it. The Candy Cane Oreo Blizzard Treat, the blizzard of the month. Visit Dairy Queen of Hebron at 620 North Front Street in Hebron, Indiana. As we continue on here on Snowman in the Morning, don't forget, top of the second hour. Here, let me just show y'all what I got here. At the top of the second hour, I'm going to give the fans, for those of you watching on Facebook Live, you can see it, and I sent a picture out about it. I'm going to give you a chance to win one of these, courtesy of Wrist Candy Plus, another proud sponsor of the show and of the network. That'll come at the top of the second hour, and all you have to do is answer the trivia question correctly. Let me see how many of those I can give away. In fact, I'm going to set a parameter. When I post the question, I'm going to post the question on Twitter and on Facebook. The first 3 to give me the correct answer will win that prize. All right? And Barry Parker, I need to talk to you. Anyway, do me a favor. Become a member of the SITM Honor Roll by going to snowmaninthemorning.com/SITM Honor Roll so we can keep the show going. All I'm asking is $5 a month. Help keep the show going, help keep the network going so we can continue to bring this show to you and many others, as well as our high school coverage. Now, back to football. Hey, Chicago Bears, I got a question for you. Wait a minute. I did something wrong. Dag nabbit. And while I get everything together. Okay, we got it together now. Hey, Chicago Bears, I got a question for you. Why are you keeping Jay Cutler? Why? What the hell is wrong with y'all? Have you not seen enough of that train wreck named Jay Cutler that's only taking you to one conference championship game? Why are you even thinking of bringing him back for the 2017 season? Why? What are you? Okay. Do I need to break down Jay Cutler's stats since he's been a Bear, or his stats, period? And portions of this show brought to you by South Lake Body Auto Sales and Auto Repair of Maryville. Do I even have to tell you guys how horrible of a quarterback he is? How bad of a decision maker he is? You want to talk about game manager? Everybody wants to talk down on Tony Romo, which I do often, and how he doesn't come up big in the clutch. 2 years ago, you should have. I'll tell you what. After the NFC Championship game in which you lost to the Packers, and this is my statement on that game, and I will continue to make this statement and live by it. The Bears had the Packers in their house. In their house for the NFC Championship game in 2010. Had every chance. It was at the tail end of Lovie Smith's run. Had a chance to make a statement against the division rival and the hated Packers. And y'all let a 50% Aaron Rodgers sock y'all in the mouth in the first drive of the game by letting them march right downfield in 7 plays and stick in the end zone. Had him pinned at the 15-yard line. 7 plays, 85 yards later, Pack leads 7-0, and the Bears never recovered. And you were going to depend on Jay Cutler to bring you back? Really? What the hell? And now reports have surfaced, and the first one I sent to my beloved pastor and my good friend Chris Tiedemann, because we had a chat yesterday on the way to church about said quarterback. And my question to Chris was, are you I'll answer that question in a moment, Stevie. My question to Pastor Chris was, with Jay Cutler being out the rest of this season, are you happy that he may have played his last game as a Bear? The look on his face in response told me everything I needed to know. He looked to the heavens, took a big sigh, and said, I hope so. Well, I got bad news for you. The Bears are actually thinking of keeping him. I'll borrow an opinion from a talking head at one of the major networks. The only time Jay Cutler has smiled is when he signed $126 million contract. 126. 126 million to a quarterback that is nowhere near worthy in getting that contract. Nowhere. I've seen Jay Cutler on early in games throw a pass that wasn't even close to a receiver. Defender, oh goody, picked it off. I know, Stevie. Sean Kroll is a big Bear fan, and he doesn't like what I'm saying. I know he's not going to like what I'm saying right now, but it has to be said. Jay Cutler has never been, even in his time in Denver, and Denver had to have the biggest, and forgive the way I'm going to phrase this, Pastor Chris, to his family, to the rest of the fans here, I can say this no other way. But the Denver Broncos must have had the biggest shit-eating grin on their face when Jay Cutler was signed by the Bears. Like I'm grinning right now thinking about that dumb move. Do you know how many quarterbacks the Bears passed on just because they believed in Cutler? What has Cutler done? The only thing to me that is significant about Cutler is the fact that he became the first Bear quarterback with back-to-back 3,000-yard seasons. Other than that, not a doggone thing has changed. And as far as the Bears go, not a doggone thing will change unless they tell Jay Cutler, hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Why the continued belief in a quarterback that does not produce and has not produced? And don't even bring up the name Colin Kaepernick to me, okay? I know what Colin Kaepernick has not done, but I'll tell you something that Colin Kaepernick has done that Jay Cutler has not. That's taken his team to a Super Bowl. How do you like them apples, Joshua Lopez? And I got to pick on Josh because I got to hang out with him in an hour. Steve McClure with a great response. What has Cutler done? He's racked up the most medical bills of the Bears. Of course. And while I'm on the subject of the Bears and Jay Cutler and everything within, and I know people are going to, especially Josh. Josh loves teasing me about Colin Kaepernick and the lack of production from Kaepernick. But you know what? At least early on, Kaepernick showed something. And yesterday, he showed something to me too. And I'll get on the 49ers in a moment. I'll put more trust in the ability of Colin Kaepernick with the right coach and the right system, which I think he had. He had it in Harbaugh. I'll put my trust in Colin Kaepernick run in a system under Chip Kelly. I'm about to say Jim Kelly. then I'll put in Jay Cutler in a system run by anybody. How about that? The Bears, I don't know how they won their 2 games this year. I don't know how. I don't know how. And one of the most saddest things about it is that as much as the fans complain, the true football fans that know what it takes to win on offense, as much as the media slams Cutler, and I'm one of them, excuse me, that was a bad one. As much as the media has slammed Cutler, and one of my good buddies, Bill Schoening, the voice of the San Antonio Spurs, is checking me out this morning, and I got to get him back for a mic to mic. As much as the fans complain about Cutler, as much as the media complains about, has slammed Cutler, cut him to shreds, the Bears continue, for some god-awful reason, to believe in him. And part of the reason, I think, is because when they signed that contract, Cutler realized he's not going anywhere. If I were the Bears, I'd have told him, you know what, hit the road. Damn the contract. I'll eat the money. Hit the road. I would make sure it wasn't a Bobby Bonilla type situation, and anyone familiar with baseball knows the Bobby Bonilla situation. But seriously, why is a franchise that's going to continue to believe in a quarterback that has not produced? Period. Rack up all the numbers you want. Where are the wins? Where are the playoff wins? Huh? When are they going to come? When are the playoff wins going to? You know something? Andrew Luck has been the most sacked quarterback in the NFL 35 times. I think that's the number you gave me, Stevie. 35 times. Coach Babs listening, and he has this comment. The fans are so tired of Cutler. There you go. Yesterday's attendance showed that. You're damn right. It's a shame they didn't even fill half the stadium. And they never will fill the stadium again unless the Bears make a concerted effort to get back into NFL competition by bringing in players that actually want to compete and actually want to win. You know the best thing the Bears have had in the past 4 years? He's playing with the Jets now, Matt Forte. Yeah, you take all that money and you give it to Cutler, and you wind up screwing the best running back that you've had since either Thomas Jones or Walter Payton. Sure. How's that worked out for you? How? Let me know how that goes for you, okay? Let me know how that works out for you. It hasn't. Just in case you need an indicator of how valuable Matt Forte was to the Chicago Bears, Steve McClure, don't you ever make that suggestion again. McClure says at this stage, maybe the Bears can get Tim Tebow. Oh, God. You want to talk about an even bigger circus than before? But the fact remains, Jay Cutler is going to remain in Chicago at least for one more year. And you know what's going to happen? 1 year is going to turn into 2 years, and it's going to turn into 3, and that whole contract will be fulfilled. And yet there's going to be 3 more less than mediocre seasons of Chicago Bears football. You didn't even, I mean, look, my 49ers are not doing much better. Okay? I mean, 10 straight losses to a team that once upon a time ruled the NFL? God awful. The off-field distractions contributed to a part of it, a new coaching system, but I would take my chances. with that system being put in place and getting the right players around. You know what? Yesterday, even though the 49ers lost by 1 yard and 7 points, if it were an interception, changed that game and gave Miami a big lead, and the 49ers nearly came back and snatched it. That's the kind of team I want to see. That's the kind of team I'll pay my money to see. That's the kind of team that competes for a full 60 minutes despite everything stacked against them, despite their own self-inflicted wounds, despite their own problems, was in it to the last second and the last yard. I'll take that any day of the week. I'll take that any day. I don't care what people say. Is it my faithfulness to the 49ers? Hell yeah, it is. But I don't care. I know what greatness is, and I've seen it for 20 years. Now, I bet you the 49ers will get closer than the Bears will. As long as Jay Cutler is the quarterback of the Chicago Bears, the Bears will not go anywhere. Period. As long as the management that is in charge, and I say the same about the 49ers, as long as the management that is in charge continues to run the team the way that they run the team, and the 49ers are going through the same thing. They're not selling out Levi's Stadium. It's being run like a doggone piggy bank. When you decide to compete for championships, and I don't give the 49ers a pass in what they're doing. On the field, loved what I saw yesterday. Why? Because they were in it until the last second. Off the field, hate the problems. Need to fix those. Need to get the right people in place. But see, we had it. And the 49ers made the most stupidest move ever in letting Jim Harbaugh go. Steve McClure, that is the most horrible suggestion you've given me, cited Tim Tebow. And Steve, not just Bill Walsh, George Seifert too. But I will say this again, and maybe this is blind faith. Maybe this is the fact that yesterday's game encouraged me, even though it was a 10th straight loss, but I don't care. I see more success coming for the 49ers in the future if they allow the coaches there to feel the process out, get the right players in place, and let the system run and play out. Bears system already gone. The McCaskies need to just give it up. Give it up, McCaskies. Y'all had your run. And the sad part is, within all of that, only one Super Bowl win. One. You got back in 2006, but that was because of your defense. It certainly wasn't because of Rex Grossman. Hell, I'll take Rex Grossman over Jay Cutler if I'm a Bears fan. Oh, man. Thank you for the encouragement, everybody. I appreciate it. Got to pause for a break. When we come back, I got the question of the day. And you don't know what the hell I'm going to ask for the question of the day. But it's going to All right, Larry. I got your point. He cried about it. Yep. Yeah, he did. I'm just talking about Harbaugh's work, A, with Stanford, and B, with San Francisco. I already knew he wasn't going to win that game Saturday with Ohio State, and I got a lot to say about the college football playoff after I get off the phone with Mike Green. But as long as Jay Cutler remains a Bear, as long as the voice crack, as long as Jay Cutler remains a Bear, as long as the McCaskies have their name on this Bear franchise, not a thing will change. In fact, it'll get worse. Somebody needs to come in there and clean house and tell all the people that have been sitting on the money for years and sitting on the throne where they don't belong, hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. Hell, put Mike Ditka in charge. You know what he did with the Bears, don't you? I'll trust him as the decision maker, wouldn't you? Pause for a break. When we come back, got the question of the day. And then behind that is the trivia question that people have been looking for to win a great prize courtesy of Wrist Candy Plus. Question of the day after the break. This is Snowman in the Morning. I'll be back. Hey, y'all. Snowman here. I want to tell you about a great place here in Hebron that supports the Hebron Hawks. It's called Susie's Diner at 407 South Main Street here in Hebron, Indiana. They got the best food around. If you're looking for a place to get a quick bite to eat or to hang around for a little while, check out Susie's Diner at 407 South Main Street in Hebron, Indiana. And my personal recommendation, the first of many to come, try the biscuits and gravy. Man, they are good. Susie's Diner, 407 South Main Street, Hebron, Indiana, or call them at 219-996-3463. South Lake Body Auto Sales is a used car dealership located at 3970 East Lincoln Highway in Maryville, 1 block east of Sam's Club, where your job is your credit and everybody drives. We're open from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday. Get great deals on cars such as a 2004 Mitsubishi Outlander, a 2005 BMW X3, a 2010 Ford Fusion, a 2008 Chevy Malibu, a Buick LaCrosse, and much, much more. Visit 3970 East Lincoln Highway in Maryville or call 219-947-9901. Or you can jump online and visit southlakebodyautosales.com. South Lake Body Auto Sales, where your job is your credit and everybody drives. Wilt Fang Builders of Hebron have been building quality new homes and remodeling since 1947. Visit them at 110 West Wilson in Hebron, Indiana, or call them at 219-996-7131. You can also email them at wiltfangbuilders@yahoo.com. Wilt Fang Builders, quality new homes and remodeling since 1947. Motown Mowing is based on the belief that our customers' needs are of the utmost importance. Our entire team is committed to meeting those needs. As a result, a high percentage of our business is from repeat customers and referrals. We would welcome the opportunity to earn your trust and deliver you the best service in the industry. We provide value-added service, rock-bottom prices, and extreme flexibility because we listen to our customers and continue to deliver. And for our senior citizens, we have great discounts available. Give us a call today at 219-307-0387 or visit us online at mowtownmowing.net. We are excited to be your lawn care provider.
Now what's that? I say now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
Oh, yeah. Steaming toward the top of the hour. And got that trivia question for you to make sure you win a great prize. And you have to be listening for the question, and you can watch for the post as well. Now, it's time for the question of the day. And the question of the day is brought to you by Wilt Fang Builders, quality new homes and remodeling since 1947. And the question is this. What's a show that you recently discovered and you started binge watching? I mean, to the point where you couldn't get enough of it. Well, okay. I'll answer my own question. What's a show that you started binge watching and couldn't get enough of it? Well, for me, it was a cartoon. Y'all know how I am about cartoons, especially the old school cartoons. I know I'm dating myself, but I don't care. Cartoon name called Underdog. Well, there was there was something inside that cartoon. Can't stop watching. Now, I love my Looney Tunes. I love my Tom and Jerry. I love my Animaniacs. Those are basically the cartoons I've watched. You know, Flintstones, the Jetsons, all the old school. Love them all. Love them all. But do me a favor, folks. I want y'all to look up a cartoon called Go, Go, Gophers. Colonel Kid Coyote has taken, in that cartoon that was made in the 60s, Colonel Kid Coyote took more abuse than Jay Cutler, Andrew Luck, Steve Young, and Russell Wilson put together because of two little bitty Indian gophers. I want y'all to look that up. Maybe a lot of you won't get it. Maybe a lot of you won't find it as hilarious as I do, but it's freaking hilarious to me. I love it. All right. I got to get out of here for 3 minutes. But when I come back, I will have the trivia question that y'all have been waiting for all week and a chance for you, the listener, or the watcher in this case, to win a fantastic prize. You saw what the prize was. A chance to win it when I come back. And there are two answers to this question. Okay? That's the only hint you get. That's the only hint you get. There are two answers to this question. And let's see who can get it. I want to give away 3 of these today. Now, y'all have to be listening to answer the question, but I'm going to post it later. All right? Let's see how good you are. Snowman's Morning Trivia, back in a flash.
Arena Sportsnet and arenasportsnet.com. Your home to great and natural and true sports talk like Snowman in the Morning, The Sports Drive, The Mike Prince Show, and more. arenasportsnet.com, where every fan has a voice.
Get 500 full-color business cards on the quality business stock for just $49 at Russ's Print Shop. Look at them online at russprintshop.com or call 219-996-3142. Russ's Print Shop. Fine printing and design since 1979.
Welcome to another edition of Sports Infusion. I'm your host, Pamela Michelle, and this guy needs no intro, Andrew Fishbane. Well, the SEC is fat. Go Gators.
Oh, you don't tell me you're an SEC fan. You know, I would much rather be an Oregon fan than an Oregon State fan after what happened to them this weekend.
We're multitasking, so.
That's very impressive.
Sound good? Consensus
Yes.
opinion? Oh, right.
Yep.
Fantastic.
But I was so disappointed with the Packers this year that they couldn't find somebody, a running back named Cagney. Having Cagney and Lacey in the backfield.
Yeah, Russell, it is such a pleasure. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. And
Well,
I'll
I'll make sure I break that record next week.
Just that little slip. I mean, one cut, boom, and everything just started opening up. And I saw the kicker. I was like, oh, this kid, it's over.
I want my Pam, and I'm not talking cooking spray.
I understand why WWE has to have so many constraints on the guys. I mean, it's a publicly traded company.
He came in and he played, obviously, on Sunday. I don't think a guy who doesn't know the playbook or the terminology could have necessarily stepped in and played on Sunday. If I can hold a clipboard, I can make $14 million.
Absolutely, because it's just so much fun. And the bottom line is, I love myself some Peyton Manning.
You got to go out. You got to be willing to pay the price to pay your dues.
I replaced him with Terrence Williams.
That was absolutely brilliant. See, I was right. It is Schwab.
No, know what I said? I looked up, I said, thank you, God, I'm not the only one.
He will be in that game, and he will be doing everything he can to posterize Dwight Howard.
I grew up in a house with older brothers who, kind of gave me a lot of teasing. It's sort of, it's good.
We've talked about this, and that's the way. That's the feeling I have. Is like I'm your big brother, so
exactly.
I got to be protected.
I'm Pamela Michelle, and that's what you can expect to hear every week on Sports Infusion.
Are you done?
Now what's that? I say now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
The second half of Snowman in the Morning is here, and it's brought to you by Subway of Hebron. Begin or end your day the right way with a $3.50 sub. There's a sub of the day. Visit Subway of Hebron, 615 North Front Street in Hebron, Indiana. Man, rolling right along. Got some people talking, which is good. That's why I do this. I love talking sports, and I love talking sports with the fans that tune in. All right, now, here it is. I teased this all last week. A little Monday morning trivia. I'm going to post it here. I'm going to post it during my next break, but I want the folks that are tuning in and listening right now to try to get an answer to this question. And the question is, name the only two teams that do not sport a 4,000-yard passer. Name the only two teams in the NFL. Right now. Oh, doggone it. I did it again. Hold on. All right. One more time. It's time for the Manic Monday trivia question. And here it is. Name the only two teams in the NFL that do not have a 4,000-yard passing season. I want somebody to win this. And this here's the prize. Beautiful piece of wrist candy with our logo on it, courtesy of Wrist Candy Plus. One more time with a question, then I'm going to a break, and I'm going to get Mike Green on to talk some Black Hawk hockey. Name the only two teams in the NFL that do not have a 4,000-yard passer in their history. Think about it for a moment, will you? I'm going to take a break, and when I come back, Mike Green's going to jump on the line with me. We'll talk some hockey, and we'll talk some more stuff. A lot more stuff. Snowman in the Morning, back with the Green Room after these. Wilt Fang Builders of Hebron have been building quality new homes and remodeling since 1947. Visit them at 110 West Wilson in Hebron, Indiana, or call them at 219-996-7131. You can also email them at wiltfangbuilders@yahoo.com. Wilt Fang Builders, quality new homes and remodeling since 1947.
This is Arena Sportsnet, bringing the spotlight back to the student athlete.
He pumps and throws one deep down the sideline, pitches open. He's got it inside the 35 to the 32-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
Drops the throw. Pressure coming in. He is sacked. And on the sack is Belton. John Belton. Woo-hoo! Ball on the right half. Snap to Hall. A pump. He throws. Pinson's running free. He's got it. Touchdown. Oh, what a catch. What a catch. Pumps and throws. Always open. Leaping grab made inside the 40. Down to the 36-yard line. Out of a shotgun formation again with Elliott to the left of Anderson. He throws a fade for. Oh, what a catch! What a catch! One-handed catch by Dylan Tuck! The Hawaiian 10,000! Touchdown!
Oh, yeah.
Now finds Logan James. Ball free. Ball still free. Still free. Peels has it. Peels shoots. Scores! And the Blazers have tied it! Mitchell holds and looks. Starts to dribble with the left hand. Gives it back to Zeke. For Zeke is fakes. Finds Peels. A free! Yes! Tie game! Tie game! Woohoo! He'll unload a three. He hits it! He hits it! Malcolm Reed hits a three!
Oh, yeah.
The pitch. A swing and a drive in the deep right field. This may do it. That ball is going, going, pitch to McKinney. A swing and a drive in the deep left field.
Goodbye.
That ball is gone.
Are you kidding me?
And the pitch. A swing and a drive in the deep right field. Going, gone. Goodbye. Here, Heber. Pitch to Patrick. A swung on and hit in the deep right field. That ball is going, gone. Goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
Expand your brand during the 2016-2017 play-by-play story on Arena Sportsnet.
The Best Western LaPorte Hotel and Conference Center is the only full-service hotel located in northwest Indiana near beautiful Pine Lake. We have a superior location near Lake Michigan and are a short drive from Chicago or South Bend. You may enjoy the use of our exercise facilities. Refresh yourself with a dip in our indoor or outdoor heated pool, relax in our hot tub, grab a refreshing cocktail in our lounge, or dine at our in-house restaurant. And in convenience, we have a dome area that includes a game room, shuffleboard, miniature golf, and playground. This newly renovated setting, combined with our impeccable personalized service, is sure to provide an elegant resort experience at an affordable price. For more information or for reservations, call 219-362-4585. That's 219-362-4585.
The King's Court is now in session at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central. The King of Connecticut, Matt Granahan, brings you guests from all walks of life, and every story is on the table. The King's Court is presented by American Grappler, MMA, and Wrestling Outfitters. The King's Court with the King of Connecticut, Matt Granahan. Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, exclusively on Arena Sportsnet.
Now what's that? I say, now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
Oh, boy. I got a lot of people thinking about that question I just posed. And I have since put it out on social media. And I want to see who's the first person to get both answers. There are two answers to the question. I want to see who get both. First one to get both wins a prize. All right? All right. Waiting for Mike Green to come onto the line to talk some hockey. Oh, dang nabbit. When you're a one-man gang, you have to go out and do everything. You really do. Now, again, with the trivia question, and I know I'm going to have to refine the rules here. First player to come up with first person to come up with both answers wins the prize that I showed earlier. All right. And as I said, I'm waiting for Mike Green to come back on the line. Please share this video. And also, if you have a chance, please become a member of the Snowman in the Morning Honor Roll. Go to snowmaninthemorning.com/SITM Honor Roll. All I'm asking is for $5 a month to help keep the show going. It'll feed into our network. We can bring you some more great shows, and we can take the show on the road. You know, really get out in front of the fans. That's one of the main things we want to do. Is get out in front of the fans, get out and talk some sports with them. And doggone it. Making adjustments here as we go. For those of you watching on the Facebook live feed, you see me moving back and forth. I don't have my tablet in a good spot because I can't see all my icons here in front of me. So we're making adjustments as we go along here. There we go. And I got to get some better lights here in the studio. I hope to have that soon. Very, very soon. But the trivia question has been dropped. It's out there. and I want somebody to win. Doug Stevens, what is up, man? How you doing, Doug? Hope you had a great Thanksgiving, buddy. And okay, Mike, I'm waiting for you. Waiting for my buddy Mike Green to come on the line. Talk some Blackhawk hockey. They got through the circus trip, and now they get to go back home for a little bit. Got through the Thanksgiving holiday, and I think I heard a rumor this may be the last one, the last circus trip that's like this. Oh, that's what I heard. I hope I'm wrong with that. I absolutely hope I am wrong with that statement. And speaking of which, yeah, he's back. He's back to talk some Blackhawk hockey and some NHL hockey in general. We go inside the green room, brought to you by Eastside Distilling of Portland, Oregon, makers of Burnside Bourbon. For all you adults out there, 21 and older, please drink responsibly. Visit them online at eastsidedistilling.com. Follow them on Twitter at Eastside Distill. And Eastside Distilling brings us the green room, and Mike Green's on the other line. Good morning, Mike. Okay, clarify something for me. I heard something about this kind of circus trip being eliminated, or something to that nature.
Yeah, it appears this will be the last time.
What?
I guess the contract between United Center and the circus is up, and so the Hawks won't have any more 7-game road trips in November.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Which is a good thing. I think Mr. Wirtz was looking for that to end anyhow. So,
yeah.
They have 2 of these. They have one for the circus trip, and then they have one in usually in
February,
late January, when the ice show comes to the United Center. So maybe that'll be eliminated too, where they won't go on these real long 2 to 3 week road trips.
Right. I thought I heard something like that. Speaking of the Blackhawks, talk to me.
Well, they had a so-so road trip, 3-3 and 1 overtime loss. It could have been better.
Mm-hmm.
They had trouble scoring goals. They were shut out twice in this trip, but, they were obviously gassed by the end of this trip. They lost 2-1 to LA Saturday night, but I was kind of happy they got a point out of it.
Yeah.
Just considering there wasn't much left in the tank. When you play these 7-game road trips, you play 4 games in 1 week.
Mm-hmm.
But you could see by the end of the trip that they were totally gassed. But, it could have been better, but, they kept their heads above water, and they're still in first place in the Western Conference.
And y'all got to remember, this is a very Hawk team. They got a lot of youngsters that are up, that are playing right now, and they're contributing. They're filling the holes, and they're putting their spots in.
I mean, we were without Taves the last 2 games of the trip, so Hinostroza went up to the number 1 line as a centerman. For them to be number 1 in the Western Conference in terms of points is really amazing. You consider we basically got 5 in the lineup playing a lot, and they're all contributing. They're getting better every game, especially Hinostroza, who's really coming along, and Schmaltz and Kepney and so forth. So considering what all the new faces we have in the lineup, I think we're doing really well. Having 31 points, there's more points than we do in the league.
And considering all the young talent that's been in the Blackhawk lineup, and for them to be, like you said, in first place in the Western Conference, that is amazing. Who else in the West is going to give the Blackhawks a lot of trouble, especially as the season goes on?
Well, they were talking about this here tonight in NHL Network. They think that San Jose and Chicago could be a Western Conference Finals preview. San Jose is definitely good. St. Louis cannot be discounted. LA cannot be discounted because they always seem to pick it up as the year goes along.
Absolutely.
I would say right now, LA, San Jose, St. Louis, and Anaheim.
Yeah, can't leave out Anaheim. Cannot.
No, you cannot because they got a lot of firepower.
Absolutely. Who in the East, besides Montreal, who in the East has gotten your attention?
Unfortunately, but yeah, the New York Rangers are good. They're scoring a lot of goals. They got one of the best goaltenders in the world, in Henrik Lundqvist. The Rangers. But right now, the East is a lot weaker than the West. I mean, Washington and Pittsburgh will be there at the end. Don't forget about Pittsburgh.
No, you can't forget about Pittsburgh.
They are the defending champions.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh, the Rangers, Montreal, Washington, the way it looks right now. But again, we're only just getting into December, so anything could happen. But I would say Pittsburgh and the Rangers right now are the favorites in the East, but we got a long way to go.
Who are your surprise teams in each conference at this point in the season?
Edmonton, because they're starting to come. They got one of the best players in the game in Connor McDavid. Edmonton's coming. A lot of young players. I think that one of the biggest disappointments has been Calgary again.
Mm-hmm.
And in the East, you look at Florida. They're off to a lousy start. They fired Gerard Gallant the other day, and they play the Hawks tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's gotten off to a disappointing start. So is Calgary. And Nashville to an extent, but Nashville's starting to come now. But I would say Edmonton's been a really big surprise. A lot of young players, but they got one of the best in Connor McDavid.
Yeah, Connor McDavid is something to watch. I had a chance to watch him, and the man can simply play hockey.
Yeah, he's special.
He is. He's just one big man child that's playing hockey right now.
Yeah, he is a combination of Patrick Kane and Sidney Crosby. That's what he is. He can dazzle you with his speed and his stick handling ability, but he's also got an edge to his game too. He don't take any crap out there.
He sure does. He sure does. Mike Green joining me to talk some NHL hockey, where teams stand right now, where the Blackhawks stand right now. This segment brought to you in part by Eastside Distilling of Portland, Oregon, makers of Burnside Bourbon. For all you adults out there, please drink responsibly. Visit them online at eastsidedistilling.com. Mike Green on the line with me, and before I let you out of here, have we seen the end of Brian Kelly? I got to throw that out there to you.
There were some reports yesterday, on social media that him and his representatives were looking at other options, but Brian Kelly denies that, and already Jack Swarbrick, the Notre Dame athletic director, said that he's going to be back next year. The only other option for him out there may be the University of Oregon, because they're going to fire their coach, it appears. Texas, that job was taken. LSU has been taken. I think Notre Dame and Brian Kelly need a divorce, but I think he's going to be back for one more year. It's apparent to me that even though they played a lot of freshmen and sophomores this year, and you can use that as an excuse if you want, but I keep hearing every February when it comes to recruiting signing day that Notre Dame has all these 5-star guys. They got all these elite recruits. And I just don't see it. I mean, when I watch Alabama and Ohio State and Clemson and Michigan and so forth, Notre Dame don't have those kind of athletes. They just don't have them.
They don't. They haven't had them in a while.
So, to me, being a Notre Dame fan, I would like to see a divorce. I think they need to go in a different direction. But I think he's going to be back for one more year. I think they're going to give him one more year to get this turned around. Malik Zaire is going to transfer from Notre Dame. They don't know if Deshaun Kaiser is going to come back or not, so they could have quarterback problems going into next year right off the bat.
And all this turmoil does not bode well for Notre Dame. It just doesn't.
Well, there's also a lot of talk that the players have tuned him out because of all this screaming and yelling and everything else. And he's a hot-headed Irishman is what he is. And I just don't see the elite athletes that these other big-time programs have. You watch Notre Dame. Yeah, they got some pieces on offense, but that defense gets pushed around. They have no team speed on defense. Their special teams are just dreadful.
Yeah.
And speaking of, if the Bears don't get Deshaun Watson, which, as you well know, I'm clamoring for.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Adoree Jackson would be a nice pick. That guy is a shutdown corner.
Yep.
elite speed. He can play offense too.
Mm-hmm.
But
we'll have to see how it goes.
Notre Dame just doesn't have the athletes. I just don't see it. You watch Alabama and Clemson and Ohio State and so forth. Notre Dame don't have that kind of athletes. They don't have them.
And there's no fear in playing Notre Dame anymore. There's no fear in playing Notre Dame.
You're right. Beating Notre Dame is no big deal. Look who they lost to this year. Texas, who is dreadful.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina State, Duke.
Yep.
You know, they lost to programs that Notre Dame should never lose to.
Exactly.
Michigan State, they won 3 games all year, and one of them was against Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear about all these 5-star recruits and now they played freshmen and sophomores. They can't play.
Period.
I'm sorry. Notre Dame is not physical enough on the line of scrimmage, and in terms of athleticism and team speed, I don't see it. I just don't see it.
I don't see the attitude either. And I'll say it again.
No.
I don't see the fear. I don't see the fear in playing Notre Dame. You know, Texas had no.
Kelly recruited these guys.
Yep.
Now you could say the academic standards are tougher, and they are. I mean, let's be honest; it is tougher to get into Notre Dame than most schools.
Mm-hmm.
But for Notre Dame to be 4-8, that should never happen. Mediocrity should never be accepted in Notre Dame, and I don't think it will be. But according to Jack Swarbrick, Kelly's going to be back for one more year. I think they're going to give him one more year to get it turned around. And because there really is no other candidates out there, really, they can replace it with. Who are they going to bring in?
Exactly.
Are they going to bring in Charlie Strong? No. Are they going to bring in P.J. Fleck from Western Michigan?
Nope.
No.
P.J. Fleck staying put, especially with this season.
Right now P.J. Fleck is the flavor of the month, but you know. So we'll see.
We will see indeed. Mike Green joining me. You can catch him every Monday. Snowman in the morning.
By the way, I just want to get this in, Brian.
Go ahead.
The Bears receivers just dropped another pass this morning.
I think they, according to one joke I saw on social media, they dropped their walking papers.
Oh, my God. You see what I post on social media about the lack of talent.
Oh, roster? Oh, yeah.
That game, they should have won that game, obviously.
Easy.
They dropped, I counted 14 balls dropped yesterday.
Mm-hmm. That's when I counted also. And it's like you're depending on these guys. And anyone who heard my Cutler rant this morning, you know, should put the pieces together after that. Period.
What a mess. They got now, yeah, you could say the injuries have been a factor. Sure, they've lost a lot of guys, but
yep.
They have no skill, no impact players on offense at all. None.
And you know how I feel
about Jordan Howard.
And you know how I feel about this. No attitude.
Well, they've got this is, you know, the Cleveland Browns are 0-12, but I maintain the Bears are just as bad. And this week we play the 49ers, and that's must-see TV there, brother.
That's – you know what? I hate to make this prediction, even though the 49ers lost on Sunday. But if they play the way they did at the tail end of Miami and put a full game together, that losing streak is over. Because
you could be right because, well, I almost want the Bears to lose because if the 49ers win, we're going to move up to the second pick in the draft. and therefore we get a better chance of getting Deshaun Watson, who I'm clamoring for, or Adoree Jackson or Jabril Peppers, whatever. We got to get some athletes. We got to get some guys that can play.
You got to get some nerve.
But if you're going to go into back, and you know, Matt Barkley did a nice job yesterday, except for a couple of lame brain throws in the first half. But we got to get a future quarterback.
Yeah,
I think Deshaun Watson is a guy we need. Now, the Cleveland Browns are probably going to take him. But they got to get some athletes, Adoree Jackson, Jabril Peppers, whatever they got to do. They got to get some players. They got to get some athletes.
Mm-hmm. They do. They do indeed. Thanks for the talk, Mike. I'll talk to you in a week.
Okay, take care.
Mike Green joining us as he does every Monday morning here on Snowman in the Morning inside the Green Room. You can hear it every Monday at this time. Pause for a break, and I got something to say about the college football playoff. Okay? Shane, I'm commenting that the 49ers are going to win next Sunday in Soldier Field again. And a lot of Bear fans are going to be pissed off at me with that pick, but I don't care. I'm riding with it. I don't care. Browns will take Trubisky. No, they won't. Trubisky will go somewhere else before he goes to the Browns. I hope you're right, Mike. I don't think you are. Messing with my buddy Mike Hearn, who's checking out the show. Let's pause for a break. When we come back, my thoughts on the college football playoff and a spoken word to take us out of here. Snowman in the morning, back in a deuce.
It's brought to you by Cleaver Supplements, the official presenting sponsor of Arena Sports Net. Our team is excited to provide you with an impeccable online shopping experience and remains available to assist at any time. We have natural supplements such as our Super Fat Burner, our Carnitine Stack, the famous Swole Serum for your workouts, and much more. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, do not hesitate to contact us via telephone or email, and one of our experienced team members will get back to you. Cleaver Supplements, pure supplements for when genetics are just not enough.
Hello, this is Mike Prince, the host of the Mike Prince Show, which is featured on the Open Mic Broadcast Network and right here at the Arena Sports Network. We'll cover current events, education, economics, relationships, spirituality, sports, and much, much more. You can join us each and every Wednesday live right here from 8 to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's the Mike Prince Show right here at the Arena Sports Network and the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
Shop in Hebron, Indiana has been doing printing since 1979. You can take advantage of this website special of getting 500 full-color business cards on a quality business cardstock for just $49, an online special only. But you can use other means to get the name of your business out there through Russ's Print Shop and the Hebron Advertiser, located at 131 North Main Street in Hebron, Indiana. Give them a call today at 219-996-3142 or toll free at 877-996-3142. Russ's Print Shop, fine printing and design since 1979.
Now what's that? I say, now what's that boy up to? Better check on it, yeah.
You're listening to Snowman in the Morning.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
Rolling right along here on Snowman in the Morning. I moved that over for a reason. I'm sorry. Thank you to all the folks that have tuned in to our Facebook Live feeds. I'm going to do a full show with the Facebook Live feed one of these times. Don't know when yet. But thank you to Mike Green. Thank you to the folks that have been interactive with me. Now, here's a second subject that I've wanted to talk about for a long time, okay? I got another statement that's going to piss a lot of people off, and I don't care. The college football playoff has been ruined. It was ruined before it came to fruition. Let me explain. First and foremost, you need to have more than 4 teams in the playoffs, period. If 1AA, Division II, and Division III can have 32 teams in their playoff tier, why couldn't the big boys get at least 16 or 8? But no, you got to start with 4. Now, the competition is great. I love college football. But the college football playoff is ruined. As far as I'm concerned, it's ruined. You don't have enough teams. You got a lot of teams fighting for those 4 spots, but shouldn't that 4 become 8? This is the situation that warrants 8 teams. Penn State and Wisconsin are going to play for the Big Ten title. One of those 2 teams will win, and I'm hoping Penn State pulls the upset of all upsets. And yet, Ohio State is going to find their way in the playoff. One of those 2 teams, Penn State, Wisconsin, if not both, is going to get screwed out of a playoff berth. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. When they designed this playoff system, it was all for the SEC, and the SEC has been getting hammered, okay? Save last year when Alabama won the thing. And Ohio State will drill Alabama if they see each other in the playoffs. Here's how I would do the playoff system, okay? You design it like they do in Division 1 AA, Division 2, and Division 3. If you want to use less teams, that's fine, okay? But the first thing I would do, I would not have just 4 spots. I would have 16. And the first 6 to 8 slots belong to conference champions. You're rendering the conference championships moot if you don't include them in the playoffs. So you get your conference champions and you get your at-large bids, and you seed them by record. And you don't host them in neutral spots. You do it on campus. If Ohio State has to play, let me think. Just as an example, if Ohio State has to play Boise State, okay, Mountain West champion. I know Boise State's not the Mountain West champion, but just for blanks and giggles. If Ohio State has to play Boise State in the first round of the playoffs, it should be on campus. It shouldn't be at a neutral site until you get to the Final Four. Then you implement the current system. Then and only then do you implement the current system. But you got to start with at least 8 teams. I call for 16. Because again, if you don't use at least 8 teams, the conference championships don't mean a damn thing. And I'll say it again. Penn State and Wisconsin are playing for the Big Ten championship at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. And Stevie, I want tickets, damn it. And yet one of those 2 teams, if not both of them, is going to get screwed. They're looking to screw one of those 2 teams, if not both. Why? Ohio State's on the outside looking in, and yet after their big double overtime win over Michigan, they're going to get a spot in the playoffs. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. The loss to Penn State is not going to do anything to this committee, okay? I hate to inform you all of this, but the loss to Penn State by Ohio State is not going to do anything to influence them to leave them out. Steve, who do I talk to get a press pass for the Big Ten championship? I want to come cover that game. But be that as it may, Penn State or Wisconsin is going to get played to the left. The Big 12 Conference played them to the left. They played the Big 12 Conference played themselves to the left by not having a championship game. Therefore, I think they are eliminated from getting any spot in the college football playoff. Big 10, the ACC, the SEC, the conferences like that have championship games, they should get the first dibs. Period. They should get the first dibs. And you know what makes it so sad that this playoff system has been ruined before it even got started? A lot of student athletes that are looking forward to getting in the playoffs won't ever get there. And it just gets into the minds of like, so I'm playing for what now? For what? It's not right that the system is like this. It's designed for the good old boy conferences to have their say and continue to rule the roost as they always have. Now, spot in the playoffs, that's fine. I'm with that. But At the same time, Western Michigan's not getting one of the New Year's Six. The committee's going to do everything they can to keep them out. Hell, if you want to make that argument, Mike, I say Western Michigan gets into the Final Four. I'll go there. The only undefeated team that's left. This is why I think the college football playoff has been ruined, and it needs to change. It needs to change, period. But it's not going to, and not only the people in place are the reason why, but there are 4 evil letters that's the reason why, and that's ESPN. I'm going there. Exclusive rights to broadcast the college football playoff through their bullying networks, which means you got to shell out more money to see a game that should be on network television and everybody gets a chance to see it. Period. And then got this contract for the first 12 years. So it's not going to change anytime soon, which is unfortunate. Hell, when we get the capital, let us bid on that thing. I bet we'll do a better job. But until you expand and get more teams and allow more teams to be in, the ones that truly deserve it will not even get a shot. And one of those teams that deserve to be in the Final Four and won't get a shot is Western Michigan. Louisville played themselves out. North Carolina played themselves out. And those were my 2 dark horses. Louisville lost to Kentucky, so they do not even get a well, they get a bowl game, yeah, but they don't get a spot in the playoffs. Now, here's my question. If the number of teams had been expanded, will get in. Say there's 8 teams and not 4. Does Louisville still get a shot in the playoffs? How about Houston? How about Western freaking Michigan? This is why that system, at least for the time being, will not change, because it's a 12-year contract between the college football playoff system and ESPN screwed this up even further, forcing fans to shell out even more money to watch the games through their networks. They're already paying. And that's a whole nother rant for another day. But at the same time, expansion is necessary, and it needs to happen before this contract is up. It won't happen, but it needs to happen. They should have had at least 8 teams when this thing started. I always said, take the C out of BCS, and what do you have left? Well, you got it even worse with this college football playoff system. How come the lower divisions can compete with 32 teams and have games hosted on their campuses, and the Division I college football playoff cannot get it right? If you can have this same kind of structure, basketball, men's and women's basketball, whatever sport, why can't you have this structure in Division 1A football? Why hasn't this structure happened already? Sit on that one for a while. But this needs to change. There needs to be 8 teams. And Mike, I disagree. I think Louisville still gets a shot in the playoffs as an at-large. But I'm willing to bet you Penn State or Wisconsin playing for the Big Ten championship, I don't think it will matter who will play in the Big Ten title. I don't think it'll matter who wins the Big Ten title game. because there's still a committee involved in making the selections for the Final Four. Elections for all 68 teams that go into the basketball tournament and things like that. But at least 8 teams should get a chance in the college football playoff. End of story. At least 8. Man, we're not going to see that for another 10 years. And that's awful. That's awful, and that sucks. I got a break, and then I got a spoken word when we come back. But come up off the money and change the system, will you please? I'll be back.
Welcome to another edition of Sports Infusion. I'm your host, Pamela Michelle, and this guy needs no intro, Andrew Fishbane. Well, the SEC is fat. Go Gators.
You don't tell me you're an SEC fan. You know, I would much rather be an Oregon fan than an Oregon State fan after what happened to them this weekend.
We're multitasking, so.
That's very impressive.
Sound good? Consensus opinion? Oh, right. Fantastic.
But I was so disappointed with the Packers this year that they couldn't find somebody, a running back named Cagney. Having Cagney and Lacey in the backfield.
Yeah, Russell, it is such a pleasure. I haven't laughed that hard in a long time. And
I'll make sure I break that record next week.
Just that little slip. I made one cut, boom, and everything just started opening up, and I saw the kicker. I was like, oh, this kid, it's over.
I want my Pam, and I'm not talking cooking spray.
I understand why WWE has to have so many constraints on the guys. I mean, it's a publicly traded company.
He came in and he played, obviously, on Sunday. I don't think a guy who doesn't know the playbook or the terminology could have necessarily stepped in and played on Sunday. And if I can hold the clipboard, I can make $14 million.
Absolutely, because it's just so much fun. And the bottom line is, I love myself some Peyton Manning.
You got to go out. You got to be willing to pay the price to pay your dues.
I replaced him with Terrence Williams.
That was absolutely brilliant. See, I was right. It is Schwab.
Know what I said? I looked up. I said, "Thank you, God. I'm not the only one."
He will be in that game, and he will be doing everything he can to posterize Dwight Howard.
I grew up in a house with older brothers who, kind of gave me a lot of teasing. It's sort of, it's good.
We've talked about this, and that's the way. That's the feeling I have. Is like I'm your big brother, so
exactly.
I got to be protected.
I'm Pamela Michelle, and that's what you can expect to hear every week on Sports Infusion.
Are you done?
Now what's that? I say, now what's that boy up to? Better check on it. Yes.
Nope.
Ask a silly question, get a silly answer.
No, I'm not at full voice yet. Sorry. Welcome back. We are wrapping things up here. The sports drive will come your way in an hour 15 from now. But before I get out of here, of course, we got to do the spoken word to take us out of here. Let me thank all the fans tune in to our YouTube page, our Facebook Live feed. Discussions this morning. We're going to have some more tomorrow. But I want to talk to y'all about what you do when you have people that try to get your attention by shaming you. I'm not going to mention any names because I've done that already. But a person shaming me and getting my attention, I'm not going to mention his name. He knows who he is. Question for you and the rest of your ilk. Are you pissed at me because you can't stop me from doing what I love to do? Or are you pissed at me because you're trying to be, sir? Because you can't be me. There's only one snowman, and you're looking at him. Around people in the past year that have been so jealous, that have been so ill-fated toward me. This guy thinks I owe him money, which I don't, because he didn't do the job correctly. And then he wants to insult me by saying that my daughter's alive. I better not get in a cussing fit, because it's not what this show is about. But I will make this lone statement. You stupid, incompetent son of a bitch. The train that's coming your way, that's going to run you over. And that's all I'm going to say to him, about him, and for him. On to my real spoken word. When you're dealing with people like that, turn your brain off when it comes to them, because they have no brain. They're trying to get to you. That try to make me respond every chance they get. Every chance they get. And except for this morning when I gave him like 30 seconds, it don't work. I'm going to continue to work hard. I'm going to work harder than you. You don't know what hard work is. You have no idea what hard work is. You've leached off of everybody in your life, and broadcaster that you supposedly called a friend. People like that try to leech off of you with your time. Don't let them. Don't give them a. I made the mistake in responding, but I'm doing it on my own platform. I'm doing it on my own platform. I don't care what people say to me anymore. I don't care. Unless you're going to jump aboard we call Arena Sportsnet and this train we call Snowman in the Morning and help us put in the work need to go, shut up and go about your miserable experience and leave me alone and leave us alone. The team that's being put in place right now is incredible. People that want to jump on board, they're proving themselves every day. Mike Hogue, Travis Harmon Smith, Mike Beebe, people. And to the folks that are watching, thank you for tuning in. Success is not given. Success is a habit. And you have to cultivate that habit. And even though I did replays last week during the Thanksgiving holiday, that's big. We are just getting started. If you're absent don't come around during our successes, because all we're going to do is kick you off the train and let it run you over. Period. Don't try to get our attention now. Now lay in it. This team is the best team, and we're going to keep getting better. Anybody who saw the new branding knows where I'm going and knows how it looks. And that is going to close things out. Let me say it again. If you're absent during our failures, don't expect to be present during our success. Period. All the folks that have tried to bring me down, work down verbally, you have no idea what's coming. None. And when it hits you right in the face, you still won't have a clue. And the greatest thing, we're going to continue to get better. We're going to continue to get better. We're going to continue to get stronger. And we're going to continue to get bigger. Let me borrow something. And Christy, I expect you to use this a lot. Y'all remember WrestleMania 3? What was the theme of WrestleMania 3? Bigger, better, badder. That's us. Have a great day, everybody. God bless you. Thank you for tuning in. Hey, somebody answer the trivia question so I can give away a prize, all right? I'll give the answer tomorrow at the top of the show. But thank you, everyone. No matter what point of the show you tuned in, you tuned in. That's huge. And we love you for it. Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, then they're not big enough. The daylight's out of me right now, but I don't care. Go out on a limb. That's where all the fruit is. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Snowman out!